Okay, well, going back to what you're an expert on, those black sites, what do you think is the next step now that the story has come out into the public?
In Poland, they have already started through the prosecutor an investigation, and I think it's very important that his work is protected and that there is no attempt to slow down his work because it's sensitive in the relationship with the United States. In Romania, the work hasn't really started. There was one investigation by a political group from the Senate, but the prosecutor has not started an investigation. And I really hope that that office will now take the initiative and start analyzing the situation and come up with the report.
Yeah, you're saying it's important that the investigation is not blocked. Earlier, you were expressing your concerns that there could be directives from higher up to not give enough information. How do you go about going about that hurdle, knowing you're dealing with governments here?
Is very difficult because of this notion that activities by the security agencies and their cooperation between themselves should be kept secret at all costs. I think that is really the notion that we have now to start discussing, because so many human rights violations have been committed under that notion, and the time has come to establish a democratic control of the security agencies. They should not be allowed to take action which violate basic human rights.
Yeah, should not be. But do you think that, let's just look at concrete actions. We're talking about what is right, what is wrong from your point of view, but concrete actions. I'm just wondering, really, legally speaking, will it be possible to get all of the truth out?
I think it will be very difficult, unfortunately, but I hope that the discussion that may come now will encourage some of the politicians to take braver steps and a better position when it comes to this, because it's not acceptable that we have states within the states who are run on an undemocratic basis and violating human rights. The security agencies must be put under democratic control, and they are not for the moment, in my opinion.
Well, you said you're using the 10th anniversary of 9/11 to raise the issue of CIA black sites. Why is that?
Because, you know, I think the first priority, of course, is to pay respect to the victims of the attack on United States 10 years ago. But then we also have at the same time to look at how did the US government and European governments respond to this attack. And unfortunately, I think there is a lot of lessons to be learned from how this war on terror, so-called war on terror, was conducted, which allowed for very serious human rights violations, which unfortunately also had the effect that terrorism has spread. The militant groups have increased. And the number of people killed, and many of them innocent during those 10 years, they also deserve some respect in this situation. And therefore I think it's absolutely important that the way we handled this gruesome attack will be under an honest discussion so that we don't repeat this in the future.
And speaking of militant groups, you just released a report based on your visit to Russia's North Caucasus, which is, of course, a region marked by sporadic violence by terrorists. How do you assess the struggle against the terrorists over there?
The struggle is still going on. There have been some positive initiatives taken. A lot of money has been put on budgets in order to improve the standard of living in the area. There is a focus more on the social dimension of this, the roots for terrorism, which I think is very positive. But unfortunately, there is still also a problem of impunity, that crimes which have been committed, including by law enforcement forces, have not been satisfactorily addressed, and people guilty, responsible, have not been brought to justice. So there is still a need to do more when it comes to that aspect.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Thomas Hammarberg, Human Rights Commissioner of the Council of Europe. Thank you.
Thank you.